once again to yet another wonderful video, and I'm happy that you're giving me feedback, and let's continue those conversations. All right, so today we're going to discuss about some few things that you can do if you're not making money. Remember, a lot of people are still making money even though it's a pandemic situation. And in fact, a lot of people have started new businesses. Others are even more profitable than they were ever before. And you tend to ask yourself, how comes I thought it was a bad situation, and perhaps I should be happy that I'm making some profit, even if it's lower than I used to make before 2020. I want to let you know today that you should aim higher, aim much higher. Right now, people are very intentional with who they buy from, what they buy, and the quality of what they buy. So if you know your product or service is of quality and it's an excellent, piece of work or product that's selling is extremely good, then I want to give you some hope today. You can double that income anytime, because we are no longer buying, randomly. We are very intentional. And when we start buying from you and we find its quality, then we'll definitely come back to you. So just be positive and ensure that you have the best product in the market. So today's topic is about, if you're not making much profit, what is this that you need to do? Let's display the slides. Okay, so look at this. If you're not making enough money, I want to give you just one easy step that you can do. But that step has a sub-step that I'll also discuss. All right, let's start here. One is your visibility. This is a sub-step. We are not yet there where the real step is. How visible are you? Remember, before 2020, perhaps you were able to meet people physically. Now you cannot. Have you changed the style and mode of meeting your new and potential clients? Are you still looking for them in some restaurants, in some community gatherings, which are no longer there? What have you changed about that? You have scaled up your business and you've gone online, and now you're more visible online. Do you have or know who is viewing your content? Either an e-shop that is online, or your website, or even your physical location. Are you keeping record of who is visiting you, the questions they're asking, what they're looking for, what they prefer? Because this kind of information is the one that will let you know, how do I modify my product or service? How do I make it more unique from my competition? Because they're even giving you information about your competition. Yeah, I visited the other shop and I saw this, this, and that. It's not done correctly. I'm still looking for this, this, and that. Are you recording all that information somewhere? And once you tweak your product or service to satisfy that particular customer, are you actually following up and calling him or her to find out whether they found what they were looking for? Because now you already have what they wanted. What are you doing? Do you have a mechanism to store the contacts of those people and the questions they're asking? And if you do not, you can just open a book. If you have a laptop, you can just open an Excel sheet. In any case, by the way, there are some softwares you can also use, and they're free. Yeah, talk to us. We'll guide you on all these things. Some free softwares that can help you in your customer journey, from when it's a potential customer, how you can convert into a lead, how you can convert into a deal, how you can integrate all that into your financial systems, so that even when you build them, everything is synchronized. And definitely you're able even to have some reports at the end of the month and at the end of the year, and you're able to see how many customers are still stuck at a certain space and how can we push them to the next level, right? What conversations have we had with them, and how have I recorded those conversations? So the issue around visibility is very key. So that is point number one, but it's a subset of the other points that I want to speak about shortly. So if you're not doing some of these things I'm speaking about, please find a way of starting them, or talk to us and we'll get you there. Secondly, did you know that 2% of the sales are made on the first contact? Only 2% of sales are made on the first contact. What that means is that if someone visits your website, or visits your e-shop, or visits your local shop somewhere, physical shop, 2% will buy when they visit the first time, right? What is 2%? That is 2 people in 100. So how often do you get to speak to 100 people? Is it within 1 month, 2 months, or within the whole year? So what that means is that if you're talking to 100 people for a whole year, you can only get 2 people buying from you per year. So look at your product or service and income, right? So one, you need to speak to a lot more people. You need to ensure that your products or services are being seen by a lot more people than 100 people, because those are only 2 people per year, or per the duration that you speak to 100 people. So if you want to sell to 200 people, you need to multiply then 100 by 200. So you need to be speaking to about how many people? 20,000 people per year to be able to get 200 people to buy from you. If you're not doing that, then you're falling short. So that is one thing. Number 2 is that, do you know that 3% of people that you speak to twice, like they came, they visited you, you followed up and you spoke with them again, 3% will buy. That is 3 people in 100. 5 people in 100 when you speak to them 3 times. 80% of people who purchase from you have seen you, have heard from you more than 5 times, 5 to 12 times. So what I'm saying is that the main point here I'm raising today is that if you have not spoken to your potential customers more than 5 times, you're falling short of your expectations. That's why you're not profitable. And the word follow-up is the one I'm introducing to you today that is very key in making sure that your sales are made as expected, right? Or you make money from your sales. If you have not been following up, you need to find a way of following up your clients or your potential clients. You know, sometimes you feel like you're pushing them or you're being a nag. There is a way to follow up without nagging, because remember, there's this very key statement that goes like this: people like to buy, but they do not like to be sold to, right? People do not like being sold to, but they like to buy. So how do you make sure that someone has seen you 5 times or 12 times, but you're not pushing a product to them, pushing a service to them? There are very many ways that you can do it, right? And those are some of the things that we teach in your Build Your Own Business program. What are these 5 to 12 different ways that you can have a conversation with a potential customer so that they can eventually make a decision to buy without being pushy? Because once you push, just like a girlfriend or a boyfriend, when you push too much, they will run away, right? So you don't push, but you must have some ways of keeping the conversation going without being too pushy. So that is point number 1 that you need to do to ensure that you follow up and you make the sales. The other thing I want to speak about is that 48% of salespeople never follow up. Are you in the category of 48%? Yeah, they never follow up with prospects. And that is why you're not making sales. 25% of salespeople make a second contact and stop, while 12% make a third contact and stop. Less than 10% are actually following up more than 3 times, okay? They're calling the 3rd time, the 4th time, the 5th time, even up to 12 times, because they know how to keep that conversation going, because they know that this particular potential customer has an interest in that product or service, but perhaps they are not ready now, and they want to ensure that this potential customer does not go to competition. Only less than 10% are able to keep that conversation going. So in which category are you? So you need to up your game, right? So the secret here is follow-up, and that is what we just discussed. Follow up and ensure that you're keeping on that conversation going. And the other statement I want to also bring to your attention is that people buy from people they know, they like, and they trust. Someone knows you. Can they buy from you just because they know you? A very small number will buy from you just because they know you. But if they like you, most likely they will buy from you. So if they know you, they like you, and they trust you, what that means is that where they trust you, they will buy something of a lower value just to test your product or service. But the moment they get to trust you, what means is that they can buy even in bulk. So you need actually to ensure that you take the customer through this journey where they not only just know you, that they have seen you only once, and they have just known you, they have seen your products and services for the first time. What you need to ensure is that they move to the next level of liking you. Because if you have spoken once, twice, they have seen your products and services more than once, then they'll kind of start resonating with you because perhaps they even require that product or service. So they'll start liking you, liking your products, liking your messages. And this will be maybe the second, third time of interacting with that potential customer. The third thing, when they start trusting you, is perhaps they have tested your product or service. They bought a small thing or they tested something for free. And then now they start trusting that they can actually buy a bigger service or a bigger product. So follow-up is very, very important. And we have just learned is that you need to do that more than 5 times in a very subtle way, in a way that they will end up liking you. And as I said earlier, just like a boyfriend or a girlfriend, what are the steps that you take to ensure that this person doesn't get bored with you? But they keep following you and they want to hear more about you. They want to hear more about your product or service. They're even starting to become, a little bit more friendly because they like how you do it. So to you to actually figure it out, how this can be done, but we can also support you through our programs, Build Your Own Business. All right. And to have 7 or more contact points with your prospects without pushing your product or service requires a lot of skill. All right. So that is what I'm talking about. To have more than 7 contact points with your potential customers without pushing the product or service requires a lot of skill. And therefore, you need to have very many different types of messages that build on one another. Message 1, message 2 builds on message 1, message 3 builds on message 2. And that way, then you educate your customers and they become more and more aware of your products and services, and they'll potentially buy from you. So what I'm asking you right now is that, which are the 7 or more contact points? Start thinking about it. What kind of messages should you be giving your customer if you're selling a suit or a nice dress? What is message number 1? What is message number 2? What are these different types of messages that can keep the customer coming back to listen to you a lot more, to learn more about your product or service? So you need to split your messages adequately and even deliver that message on different platforms, different ways, with different flavors. So, and that way they'll keep coming back to you. Examples of what you can do is having some free material. Yeah, just give them some free material to taste. Yeah, you've seen even in supermarkets, you can enter and you even taste a cake. What is this free material that you can give? Speak with them on social media, ensure you're engaging them. Then give them some content on email. Yeah, so whatever content you give them on email, make sure that they're not unsubscribing to your email. But once they subscribe, they're eager to to read the next email that you're going to send, and many other ways. All right. So one quote I want to leave you with today is that a quitter never wins and a winner never quits. So as we said, things don't come easy, but once you're persistent, you're consistent, and you're pursuing your passion and you're excited about what you do, you will never even feel like quitting, because you know that the more you give, the more you also gain. The other thing is that if you focus on money is like a girlfriend or a boyfriend also. It can run away from you. Focus on giving and money will follow. If you're just giving information and you're excited about giving this information, money will surely follow, and you'll be excited that you kept the pace. All right. So today's homework is evaluate your prospects follow-up strategy. Do you have any strategy for following up your prospects? If you do not, we can assist you with that, or you can browse Google, find out how to do that. Which one are the top 3 things that you want to stop doing, change, or start doing when it comes to following up with your prospects? Start with 1 and work through it. And this way is the only way you can achieve the sales that you're looking for, because the secret to making more money is in follow-up. Thank you so much for listening in today. If you want to talk to me, let's catch up. Visit our school, which is courses at amaracampus.com and also lucymunga.com. You have a lot more material and you can get to know more about me and how we can work together. Thank you for now, and let's talk next time. It's a goodbye.